What's up guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Kyle. Today we're gonna be talking about 5 super cheap camera accessories that you gotta have. But before we get into the list, let's roll that intro. All right, so number 1 is the Peak Designs camera clip for the camera strap. Now, these things are probably my favorite little accessory of all time. Pretty simple, they just kind of clip onto any camera strap that you have. Peak Designs does make their own camera strap, but I personally don't like it too much. It's a little bit too slippery and it kind of looks like a car seat belt. It's not really my vibe. But what you can do is you can get these cheap little camera clips. These clip onto the camera. This little red part, dongle part, clips onto the camera. And this little part can attach to any standard camera strap. So it's really nice. You can really quickly clip it on or release it. I use the release part when I'm vlogging or anytime I have it on a tripod because I don't want to have my camera strap all flapping around. So highly recommend getting the Peak Designs camera clips. Number 2, I just like to get some super cheap little Amazon Basics pouches. I have 2 of these. One is for all my batteries and my filters, and the other one's for all my cords, because when you're digging around in your camera bag, you don't want to have to be digging around for all these different cords and batteries, having things fly all over the place. So I just get 2 cheap ones of these. Not that fancy at all, just has a nice little zipper. I think it might actually be for a pencil pouch, but I just use these as a little accessory bag. Number 3 is the Rode Video Micro. Now, I personally also have the Rode Video Mic Pro, but to be honest, this is the one that I'm using the majority of the time. It's super small, the quality is fantastic. Most people can't even tell that I'm using the cheaper version. This one I think is only $60 versus I think the $200 or something around there range for the Rode Video Mic Pro, which is what we're using now. It comes with the dead cat included when you purchase it, so you're ready to go, no wind or anything like that. And honestly, you can kind of just like stuff this in your pocket, toss it into a camera bag. I just carry this thing around with me all the time. And I think my favorite thing about it is the fact that there's no on-off switch. It's just powered straight through the camera. So I can't tell you how many times I've been using the Rode Video Mic Pro. I forgot to turn the switch on and I completely missed audio. I was sitting there vlogging, talking to myself. Super sucks. This, hands down, best mic that money can buy. Number 4 is a variable ND filter. Whether or not you're just a photographer and a videographer, these things are pretty indispensable. On the video side, you may know that your shutter speed should always be double your frame rate to get the smoothest motion blur possible. Well, on a bright sunny day, obviously this becomes a little bit tricky because it's very easy to then blow out your image. So with one of these, you just give it a quick little spin and your image is nice and properly exposed. On the photography side of things, anytime you're around a body of water, I almost always pop one of these things on to get some nice, smooth, long exposure. Pop the camera on a tripod, long exposure, smooths out the water. Really, really nice little effect. I personally think that it adds a lot more dynamics to an image. Sometimes you obviously do want to capture it still, but one of these, fantastic. It's essentially just sunglasses, a variable sunglasses for your camera. Number 5 is an L bracket. Now I probably lied when I said that the Peak Design clips were my favorite accessory. I take it back. It's hands down an L bracket. It's such a simple device, but it really, really changes the game. The great thing about it is just permanently attaches onto your camera with a little screw here. You get a little bit of extra grip. For any Sony shooters out there, you'll likely know if you have even moderately sized hands, it kind of is hard to grip the camera because it is so small from the form factor. So you get a little bit of extra weight to it, but it also becomes a little bit more stable if you're shooting footage. And the real kind of point of the thing as well is that you can now mount it onto pretty much any standard tripod, either in portrait or landscape mode. If you're trying to shoot some Instagram bangers out there, you're likely well aware that you should pretty much always be shooting in portrait mode when taking photos to post to Instagram rather. And this is pretty much indispensable for that. It doesn't put any extra strain where you have to tilt your tripod head over and then attach it sideways. Lives on my camera, hands down one of the best purchases I've ever made. And there you have it. That's a super short little list of 5 very cheap camera accessories that I personally find to be very helpful. Whether you're a videographer or a photographer or both, all of these things can certainly come into play very, very nicely. I love to have them. So I will toss a link to each of these down in the description below. If you have any additional cheap accessories that you think I should be checking out that I don't have already, go ahead and comment those below as well. And if you like this video, go ahead and play thumb war with the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next video. See ya.